Today, we're going to be talking about genetic diseases. Genes are the building blocks of heredity. They are passed from parent to child. They hold DNA, the instructions for making proteins. Proteins do most of the work in cells. Sometimes there's a mutation, a change in a gene or genes. Proteins move molecules from one place to another, build structures, break down toxins, and do many other maintenance jobs. The mutation changes the gene's instructions for making a protein, so the protein does not work properly or is missing entirely. There are three types of genetic disorders: single gene disorders, chromosomal disorders, and complex disorders. Single gene disorders are among the most well understood genetic disorders given their straightforward inheritance and patterns. This disorder involves mutations in the DNA sequences of single genes. As a result, the protein gene codes is either altered or missing. As a rule, single gene disorders are not very common. Single gene disorders has two types of disorders: autosomal dominant and autosomal recessive. Autosomal dominant means that a person only needs one copy of the changed gene in order to have this disorder. Usually the changed gene is inherited from a parent who also has the disorder, and every generation in the family may have members with the disorder. A person who carries a gene for an autosomal dominant disorder has a 50% chance of passing the gene to each child. Autosomal recessive means that it is necessary to have two copies of the changed gene to have the disorder. Each parent contributes one changed copy of the gene to the child who has the disorder. The parents are called carriers of the disorder because they have one normal copy of the gene and one changed copy of the gene, but they do not show symptoms of the disorder. These risks are the same for each pregnancy. When there is more than one person in a family who has the disease, the people are often in the same generation. Chromosomal disorder is an abnormal condition due to something unusual in an individual's chromosomes. A chromosome disorder results from a change in the number of structure of chromosomes. Any deviation from the normal karyotype is known as a chromosome abnormality. While some chromosome abnormalities are harmless, some are associated with clinical disorders. Most chromosome abnormalities originate in the egg or sperm, but some happen during embryo development or are inherited from a parent. Chromosomal disorders have structural abnormalities. This is when large sections of DNA are missing from or are added to a chromosome. Structural abnormalities can take several forms. There's deletion, duplication, translocations, which has two subforms, reciprocal and Robertsonian. We also have inversion and ring. Last but not least, we have complex disorder. For the most part, complex diseases are caused by a combination of genetic, environmental, and lifestyle factors, most of which have not yet been identified. Complex diseases are also called multifactorial. This makes it difficult to determine a person's risk of inheriting or passing on these disorders. Complex disorders are also difficult to find, study, and treat because the specific factors that cause most of these disorders have not yet been identified. Thank you.